Thank you, Rocky. I wanted to say hi to the Speaker. I understand he's videoing today, and I just want to say, you see that name right there? That's Speaker Batchelder. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Speaker, for adding your name, one of the 53 co-sponsors of the Ohio House of Representatives. You know, I've been around a long time. Many of you know I worked to pass such laws as the informed consent and parental consent, and the nation's first ban on partial birth abortion. And they're the same naysayers then as there are right now. Those people that say we better not do anything because the courts might say no. It could find it unconstitutional. It could set the movement back. See, this isn't my first rodeo. We've been through this before. And because the Ohio General Assembly back in 1995 had the courage to pass the nation's first ban on partial birth abortion, 30 states followed Ohio, Congress followed Ohio, and eventually the Supreme Court said yes. Had we listened to the naysayers, had we sat on our hands and did nothing, then they would still be performing partial birth abortions in Kettering, Ohio. It would still be taking place. Thank God for the courage of the Ohio legislature. I want to introduce somebody else with courage. He is the pro-life director of the Ohio Knights of Columbus. Gary Anderson has stood with us from the beginning, was there. Many of you saw his Knights come out at the rally we had in the atrium. Gary, come on up and say a few words to us. I'm very grateful for the strong stand of the Knights of Columbus and those in the Catholic faith.
Thank you, Janet. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity to say just a few words. Well, we're coming up on what now? 40 years in the wilderness since Roe v. Wade, over 54 million sacrificed babies. That's what motivates me. That's what motivates the Knights of Columbus. We have over 60,000 in Ohio, and solidly the majority is in support of the heartbeat bill. Yeah, we've seen progress. I want to commend the Ohio General Assembly, both our House and Senate. They've done marvelous work. They really have. As you know, we're at an impasse right now in the House. They're hearing from people, the naysayers, as Janet mentions, including the major right-to-life organization in this state, who is not only neutral, they're beyond neutral, they're actively lobbying against and opposing the heartbeat bill. And they've always favored this slow, incremental strategy, and it's worked. Again, we've made some progress, but now with the heartbeat bill, we're really faced with a potential sweeping change. Rather than waiting another 39 to 40 years, another 54 million babies, this is a bill that can save upwards of 90% of the babies, according to Dr. Jack Wilkie, of course, the father of the pro-life movement here in Ohio and nationally. But again, that slow incremental approach is problematic. We just simply do not have that time to wait that much longer. And those folks who believe in this slow, measured approach perhaps ought to heed the words of Reverend Martin Luther King when he was dealing with the same type of issue with many of his pastors. In his letter from the Birmingham jail, he had a simple answer to them. Wait means never. So now is the time. Or let me ask the naysayers, if not now, then when? And as you all know, there's a small group of senators that has been obstructing the movement from the Health and Human Services and Aging Committee of the bill to the floor for a vote. They have concerns of potential unconstitutionality. Well, they had the same concerns for the partial birth abortion ban, as Janet mentioned. They're worried about the necessary precedents not being in place. Well, there weren't the necessary precedents for the partial birth abortion ban either. And ultimately, it was upheld in 2007 in Gonzalez versus Carhart. They're also concerned with the possible undermining of potential legislation, existing legislation. There is language in the bill that clearly addresses that, stating it will not in any way, shape, or form undermine any existing or future pro-life legislation. But here's the major point I'd like to make today. Here's the gist of my words. The upcoming November election. The winner of this election will likely have the opportunity to nominate as many as 4 Supreme Court justices when you look at the expected and very likely retirements during that next term. And if the most abortion-friendly president in U.S. history is reelected, that opportunity that we have now may never be with us again. we may lose the opportunity. So it's a small window of opportunity to push this through. There may be doubts, there may be naysayers, but this is the opportunity that faces us now. We've got to make the most of it, because if the election goes the other way, we may never get the opportunity again. So I appeal to our senators, do everything possible to get the bill out of the Health and Human Services and Aging Committee onto the floor for a vote on the fully protective heartbeat bill, not a watered-down one, not a gutted one where they remove the ban, Section E, the fully protective heartbeat bill. The time is now, senators. Thank you.